Hey, I'm Chef Aaron Fish, and this is Fish Food, where we make tasty, approachable snacks. And today, we're making pizza with spicy Andouille Hot Honey and Niman Ranch sweet Italian sausage. All right, so step one, we're gonna go ahead and make our hot honey. Now, this can be made days in advance. It can sit, it lasts for weeks and weeks and weeks. So, we're just gonna go ahead and take some honey, squeeze it in here. I don't use any particular kind of honey, clover or whatever you like is what you want to use. We're gonna be infusing it, so you're not gonna get a lot of that flavor profile. Let's try to get it all out. And then we're gonna put our spicy andouille in there. And don't be afraid to go heavy on this because you want that sweet hot contrast. Get this on the stove. We're gonna heat it up to a simmer and let it steep. All right, so while our honey's heating up, we're gonna make our quick pizza sauce. I'm gonna use that now. I've got some San Marzano tomatoes here, whole tomatoes. You could use, some of the chopped tomatoes or the diced tomatoes, but I really love the flavor of San Marzanos. They're super delicious and very consistent. Now I'm gonna strain them over this bowl. We want our sauce to be a little bit thicker, so we don't wanna have too much liquid in there. So we're just gonna strain over the bowl and get like a lot of that excess juice out. Don't worry about getting all of it out, just, a good portion of it. And go straight into my blender. Okay, and then you can save this juice. You can make like a cocktail with it or something, Bloody Mary, drink it, or just, whatever you want to use tomato juice for. I got some tomato paste, pop that in there. I've got our pizza pie seasoning, drop that in there. And since it's a salt-free line, we're gonna add some salt and just a little bit of sugar. It'll come out of the bowl. Okay, we're gonna go right up on here. Put our lid on so it doesn't explode everywhere. Alrighty, our honey started simmering, so you can see it's bubbling up. You don't want it to boil over, but that's pretty much what we were looking for. We're just gonna let this hang out and cool off. All right, so we're gonna make some infused oil to brush on the pizza crust, and what I'm gonna use is the Mediterranean blend, a little bit of olive oil, and we're gonna add a little more to it after the fact too. Olive oil doesn't have a high smoke temp, so we wanna use some canola to really pull the flavor out of the spice blend. And bloom the spices when we fry them up a little bit, and then we'll add more canola or more olive oil afterwards to kind of give it really that rich flavor that we're looking for. So I'm gonna put this on the heat. Alrighty, and then we're gonna put some of these spices in there. And we're just gonna heat it until they start to pop. We'll hear it sizzle a little bit. So our spice blend is starting to simmer here. And it's not really simmering, it's just the oil's frying the herbs and the spices and whatnot in there, and that's really helping to infuse it. Now, you don't want to take it very far. You can smell it's very aromatic. We're gonna go ahead and turn it off right now because we're not looking to burn the spices. I'm gonna take it over here. I got a bowl I'm gonna pour them into. Some of it'll stick in the pan. That's okay, just leave it in the pan. We got a lot of the flavor. And then we're gonna go ahead and add more oil to it right now. That's gonna help cool it down and stop it from cooking. And there's our infused oil. We're gonna let it hang out. Now, you let this sit for a few days and it's even gonna get more tasty. And this can last in your cupboard up to probably, I would say, 3 months and you'll be fine. All right, it's pizza time. So you can totally do this in a cast iron. You can do it on I like to actually make pizza on sheet pans a lot and just bake it in your oven. But today we're gonna be using this cake pan. And the reason I like to use the cake pan is you can kind of get like a really crispy crust. And it's like light and crispy and really delicious, almost like some of the famous fast food pizza chains. And so we're gonna be doing a cake pan. You can use, if you have the square ones for brownies or something, you can use one of those. Really the great thing about pizza is you can almost cook it on anything. One thing you wanna do make sure your oven is preheated. The hottest temperature it'll go, mine is 500. So I set it to 500, it's been on. And you wanna let that heat for at least like about an hour so that the oven's just super hot. You need that heat for the pizza to rise. I also made pizza dough. You can buy these. A lot of times you can go to your local pizza place and they might sell you some dough balls. You know, if maybe you follow me on Instagram, I'll throw up a recipe if you guys ask for enough of them. But you can also just look up a good recipe online, or some grocery stores have it as well. So we're gonna take some pizza dough, and I'm gonna take some olive oil and a little canola for the same reason we talked about. I don't want the oil to really degrade and burn. We're gonna take this piece of pizza dough because I like it. It looks nice and pretty. I'm gonna toss it in here. I'm gonna coat both sides just so it's easier for me to spread out. And work it, work it. Now you can roll this out with a rolling pin if you're more comfortable with that. You don't have to put in as much effort as I am. I'm a little more comfortable with working with pizza than some people. And I'm just gonna press it in there and leave kind of, you can see like I have a little ridge around the edge because it's gonna build up the crust, right? And then I'm gonna take a fork and just, they call this docking. You'll see some pizza places will actually have like a cylinder they roll that has a bunch of little sticks sticking out of it. And this is gonna help the dough from kind of bubbling up a little bit. So poke it a few times. Put some of our delicious pizza sauce on here. Now I'm like a sauce maniac, so I love extra sauce on my pizza. We'll go just a little extra though. So I'm sharing it with Zach today. All right, I'm gonna put some cheese on here. Now this is a imported cheese blend. Really, really good. It's got some Parmesan, some Asiago, Fontina, and Provolone. You can use no cheese if you don't want cheese. I actually love to eat pizza without cheese. It's kind of just like eating a really delicious focaccia and whatnot. Now also remember when you're making pizzas, don't topping heavy them. I mean, you don't need a million toppings. This is our Diamond Ranch sausage. I went ahead and kind of grilled it on my grill outside to give it a little color and some texture. And you weigh your pizza down with too much toppings and you're gonna, it just won't cook right. This is some broccolini that I just kind of cut the crowns off of. I just wanted to add like a different element to the pizza. You obviously can put whatever you want on your pizza. I mean, the real hero of this story today is gonna be you know, the pizza sauce and that hot honey. It's gonna be super delicious. We're gonna, you know, eat the heck out of it. So I'm gonna top it with just another smidge of cheese. Just I like to kind of anchor what all the toppings are. And we're gonna go in our oven. Let's do it. Let's grab our pizza out of the oven. It's been about 10 minutes and check that bad boy out. Looks amazing. It's nice to handy if you've got one of these resting racks when you make your cookies and stuff like that for being able to pull this out. Now, one thing that people make a mistake of when they are baking pizza is for, you know, whatever, is not letting it rest before you cut it. So what I'm gonna do is kind of pull it out of here. You can see there's still like some oil in here. That's fine. It's nice and clean, it's not cooked on there. All right, so we've been letting this rest for about 2 minutes. What that's done is it's helped the bottom crust stay nice and crispy, so we don't have to worry about it getting soggy. And it helps the cheese and toppings kind of firm up a little bit, so when we go to cut it, it's not just getting oozy everywhere. So put it over here. I'm gonna cut it first before I top it with some of my sunflower shoots I have. Just slide it off the cutting board. Alrighty, and we've got some other finishing moves. Now we've got this oil that we made, this infused oil. At this point we can brush it on the crust. It's gonna add like a nice flavor on here. Now we've got some sunflower shoots. Now I like to kind of put these on after I cut the pizza so it still gives it some body and height. And then we'll drizzle the hot honey on. I like to put it on after I put the herbs on and stuff because it kind of clings to the herbs. Drizzle it on. Like a little extra. I already told you I'm a sauce maniac. I mean, look at this sauce. It looks amazing. Okay, all right, it's time to get into this. So, pinch it off here. Build a little pile. It's so sticky and delicious smelling. Oh wow, that crust is amazing. The oil on there, you get a little flavor from that Mediterranean spice. Tomato sauce is like bright and deep at the same time. And that hot honey really pulls through and adds like a really sweet hot element to the pizza. And of course that Nyman Ranch sausage is crazy good. And folks, that's how you make delicious fish food.